Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is just going to be a super casual sit down and getting ready with me type of video. Honestly, I really miss like the entire vibe of old school YouTube. I feel like it's just so different these days. Everything just seems so like professional and not necessarily rehearsed, but just the vibe in general is different. I feel like I've lost a lot of inspiration because of that. I get everything like in the world is always evolving and moving and moving and moving, but I just really miss just like the coziness and like effortlessness of old school YouTube. So I just decided today I'm going to sit down, chat with y'all, do my makeup, and that's what it's gonna be. So I do have some new products here as well as some old ones that I just feel like I haven't really used too much on my channel. I did color my hair, I don't know if you can tell, but I was getting really tired of how orange and brassy the ends were, so I just went in and got some like Red Shades toner down at the bottom just to hold me over till spring break when I go home to get my friend 𝗕𝗠𝐵 to do magic on my hair. So yeah, I'm kind of like feeling the darker vibes right now. Let me know what y'all think. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. I did already go ahead and apply moisturizer upstairs, but other than that, my face is blank. So for my primer today, this was actually in my yearly favorites. This is the Photo Finish Primerizer, Primer and Moisturizer in one from Smashbox. I love this one. I had mentioned whether you have oily skin or dry skin, this is a great primer just to add some moisture back into your face. Now, if you're looking for something that's really going to kind of like blur out your pores, this one isn't it, but just the hydration it gives your skin. Honestly, the texture of it reminds me a lot of some of the Korean like water serums out there. It's just so refreshing. So I'm going to apply that, and then just on kind of like these areas right here, my smile lines, which I'm so over, and then my forehead. I've griped about this so many times, especially if you follow me on Instagram. I've been really active on Instagram stories lately, kind of sharing like random recipes with y'all, my favorite songs, different things like that. But I've been really complaining about my wrinkles because they're kind of making me sad. I've been like contemplating Botox, but that whole thing scares me. I just don't want to end up with like crazy cat lady face or like a face where it looks like you've like smelled a fart and you're stunned 24/7. That really, really kind of scares me. So what I applied on my face right now, I don't know if this is something, there goes the cat, that you're supposed to apply like before makeup, but I do anyways. It's from the brand Dr. Brandt. It's the Needles No More Instant Wrinkle Smoothing Cream. So it does have a little bit of a tingly feeling, nothing like too crazy and scary, just a very slight tingle, but I feel like it works as a good line filling primer. Another one that I love is from the brand Amazing Cosmetics. In fact, I think I mentioned that one in my 2017 favorites, so I'll go ahead and leave the little icon here for you if you guys want to check it out. For my foundation, before I used to love doing my eyebrows first, but now I like to do my eyeshadow and my foundation because then I feel like I can kind of, that is such a look. I mean, I look like a villain from like Harry Potter or something. That is not cute. I really like to go in and do my eyeshadow and my foundation first. That way I feel like if I get any fallout or anything, I can wipe things away. Before, whenever I would do my eyebrows first, if I went in with my foundation, I felt like I had to be so careful like around the tail portion of my brows and stuff. So we're actually going to do eyes first. Now, I showed these on Instagram stories because like I said, I have been posting like a crazy person on there. I recently ordered these massive XXL Pro custom palette. Can I drop any more things? I mean, really. So these are from the brand Give Me Glow Cosmetics. I had seen them pop up a couple times just kind of on the like trending or explore page on Instagram, and I just really liked the idea of it. You know, before, which I do still love, the Makeup Forever metal palettes, somebody messaged me and told me that they're discontinuing these, and I have no idea why because these are such great palettes. So this is a standard Z palette. This is the larger Makeup Forever palette. So before, I would keep all of my neutral ColourPop shadows in here. Right now, I kind of have a mixture of like shadows that wouldn't fit into the other two palettes that I'm about to show y'all, but mainly kind of like cooler toned smoky shadows. So I really wanted to be more inclusive and include all ColourPop and Makeup Geek like warm neutrals or neutrals in general all together. That way I wasn't having to like choose between the two palettes. And whenever all of these are mixed together, I feel like I'm more likely to use them. So first up, I'll show y'all the colored one. This is from the brand Give Me Glow Cosmetics. Now, I bought the $15 option. There's the $15 one and then the $30 palette. So the only difference is that the $15 palette, which are the two that I bought, it says that there's a chance of getting like a blemished palette, for instance, like a squished corner or something like that during shipping. I ordered 2 and both arrived in perfect condition. So they're just these massive black palettes. And then look at this. Inside, I fit 95 eyeshadows. So this is a mixture of both ColourPop and Makeup Geek. Both of those are brands that I absolutely adore. And now I'm not having to separate, because before I had like ColourPop all together and then Makeup Geek all together, just because those were really the only ones that I could fit. Like if I wanted all neutrals in one palette, it would mainly only be one brand because I had so much of both. And then here is the neutrals one. Oh, I mean, it's not perfectly color categorized or color coordinated, but I mean, with these all together, I love it. So first up, I'm gonna go in with the brow bone shade. I'm gonna mix some Makeup Geek White Lies, and then what is this? This one is Makeup Geek Vanilla Bean. Honestly, I really haven't been using too much eye primer lately. I feel like when it's drier out like this, I don't really have any issues with my shadows like migrating or just getting creasy. So I'm just gonna go in and mix both of those together. I feel like other people go in really neat and nice. I kind of just slap it on there and then just mix it all up. The brush that I'm using, I think this is one from Coastal Scents. Yeah, I'm not sure of the name or the number. There's really no other description on there. I've had this brush for years. Okay, for in the crease, we're going to mix some of Makeup Geek's Early Bird along with ColourPop's Note to Self. The brush that I'm using is the Morphe M502. I just like to go in and take a little bit of both colors and just tap off any excess. And then I'm just going to begin buffing this into the crease. All right, so I just want to talk a little bit about my channel. I feel like YouTube has just changed so much. I feel like it's definitely harder to stand out now just because the beauty community has obviously just continued to get more and more saturated. And not that I don't love makeup anymore, but I don't know. I feel like I'm not as into like creating makeup content as I was before. I feel like there's so many other things that I love, but there are things that I don't know that everyone would be interested in seeing on my channel. I feel like I've definitely been getting more and more into cooking, into home decor. Honestly, on Instagram, I follow way more like home decorating blogs than I do beauty things, you know? Like as much as I love makeup, there's really only so many like warm neutral eyeshadows I can love and this and that. Whereas I feel like with home decor, there's so many different styles, there's so many different looks, there's so many different like DIY projects, and I love that sort of stuff. I don't know what it is, I've just been so into it lately. I've really been looking into getting a scroll saw and just creating like more things around the house, like DIY things on a budget. Like I said, cooking, I love decorating for the holidays. I shared a lot of my Christmas decor, as well as my Christmas tree and random little like holiday DIY projects that I did on my Instagram stories, and a lot of y'all seem to like those on there, but I just don't know if those would translate as well on my channel, if those are things that you'd really even be interested in, or if you're really only here for the makeup. You know, like I get that this did start off as a beauty channel, and like I said, I'm definitely still going to continue with beauty because I do like it. I definitely want to start incorporating more just because there's definitely more to me than just makeup. Let me know down below if you guys would be interested in seeing some like meal ideas and DIY projects, home decor, all that kind of stuff. Just have so much fun with that kind of stuff, but I just want to make sure that I'm doing content that y'all actually want to see. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do for the crease. This is Makeup Geek's Morocco, and I'm actually just going to take my finger first and just press this right onto my lid, and then we'll go in with a blending brush. All right, so there is Morocco. As you can see, I got some fallout, but that's okay because I don't have any foundation on yet. This is the Morphe M433. I'm going to lightly buff out the edges a little bit, and then we're going to go in with a deeper shade. For that, we're using a lot of Makeup Geek today. I love Cocoa Bear. This is a shadow that I will go back to over and over again just because it is so, so good. So taking that same Morphe brush, I'm going to not eat my hair, push this right into my imaginary crease, hooded eye life, right? And then go in with a blending brush and really blend that shade out a bit. Keegan and I have been on a Netflix binge. This looks crazy, like I'm about to be sick. I have like orange shadow all my cheekbones. We have been on a Netflix binge lately. I'll go from like where I don't watch any TV for a while, and then all of a sudden we'll be like, hey, let's watch a show, and then end up watching an entire season in a day. The show that we did that to the other night was End of the Effing World. I think there was only like 8, 9, maybe 10 episodes, but all of them were relatively short. I loved that show. But I swear, is it like BBC? I think Netflix bought it from the BBC. It seems like a lot of those British shows have the exact same actors, at least when it comes to Netflix, because the main boy in that show was a guy that was on an episode of Black Mirror, and I know I've seen him on a couple of other things as well. But I loved that show. If you're into kind of like, not weird necessarily, but like a little bit of a thriller with comedy and drama, like a dark drama type of comedy show, you would love that one. We also totally, hello Howard, binged on the show Dark, which I loved. If you are into like sci-fi, if you like Stranger Things, but something that you have to pay a little bit more attention to that kind of deals with like time travel, you definitely need to watch Dark. The only annoying thing is that it's dubbed in English, because I guess it was originally like a German show, so it is kind of weird to see like, you know, their mouths moving like this and then something else is being spoken. But that was such a good show. I love that. Another show that I went ham on, we had a family in town for Christmas. So we had like 9 people in our house for, they came in on the 23rd and left the 28th. So like 5 days. As soon as everyone left, I just felt like I needed a breather. So that day I pretty much just stewed on the couch all day. Landon did the same thing. He played his Xbox, we colored, we did Legos. And then I watched an entire season of Siesta Key. If y'all are like me and like watched Laguna Beach back in the day in high school, I graduated in 2005. Oh my gosh, that makes me sound so old. I lived for Laguna Beach. Siesta Key is like Laguna Beach, but instead of starting out in high school, they're already in college. Definitely still like a cheesy reality show, but I watched all, I don't know how many episodes there were in one day because I'm basically a sloth and I felt like I just needed a breather that day. So if you're looking for like a good show to binge out on, I guess good is not really like the best word to use for that. But if you loved Laguna Beach, definitely watch Siesta Key. I guess the new season starts on the 15th, so I'll definitely be tuning into that. All right, so there are my eyes for now. We probably will go back in and do a little bit more, but I always kind of jump back and forth between my eyes and my face. I am going to press a little bit more of Morocco because I feel like I lost some of that while blending. I actually really like that shade. Moving on, the foundation combo that I've been loving lately is this one from Kokie Cosmetics. It's the Liquid Cushion Foundation. I'm currently using the shade 20W as well as an old favorite. This used to be like in every single one of my videos way back in the day. This is the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation in the shade Natural 4. So first I like to go in with the cushion foundation, and I don't really like the sponges that cushion foundations come with. So I like to just go in with my beauty blender and just bounce the butt in, and I'll kind of concentrate this, since it's a lighter color, on my cheeks, my nose, and right in the center of my forehead. I know this looks crazy light right now, but this formula is so thin, and once I mix it in with my other foundation, it just works. So I'm gonna give this a good shake. I like to apply this onto the back of my hand and just dab that on the outer perimeters of my face. If you are a fan of NARS Sheer Glow, L'Oreal True Match Lumi, the Armani, what is that one called? Luminous foundation, you would like this one. The formula and just like the viscosity of it is very, very similar to those. Like I said, this was a holy grail foundation for me back in the day. I still love it. I don't know why I don't use it as much as I used to. Probably because my makeup collection has expanded a ton, but it's still one that I go back to quite often. All right, so there is my foundation. For my concealer, I'm going in with, actually I pulled out my Tarte Shape Tape because, believe it or not, I haven't used this in probably close to 2 months because I've been going back to my ColourPop, I always forget the name of this, No Filter Concealer, and I like to mix it with the Urban Decay All Nighter. I've not been able to put that combo down. It just works great for me. But first I'm going in with another Kokie Cosmetics product, definitely a brand that I feel like is underrated. This is the Be Bright Illuminating Concealer in the shade Yellow. So right here on the sides of my nose, I always get that shadowy look, which I hate. So I'm going to apply some of that there, as well as right here in the corner of my eyes. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the ColourPop No Filter Concealer right here, a little down my nose, my forehead, and my chin. Now, only because I haven't used Tarte Shape Tape in so long, I just kind of want to go in with like an additional dot right here. Now, this looks like a lot of concealer, and that's because it is, but it's just what we're gonna go for today. Plus I have some redness on my chin. I have like a deep undergrounder zit right here which honestly hurts. Anytime I get one of those pimples, the first thing that comes to mind is from Super Mario World, like on the Super Nintendo back in the day. Remember like the levels where the mole, like there'd be a hill and you'd see this little thing like crinkling and then a mole would pop out of it? That's what I envision, which is kind of gross when you think about it, like a little mole under your skin. But I'm just like, break the surface already, dude. It's like, if you're gonna be here and be a pain, at least like make an appearance. Instead of going in with the 𝗤𝗓𝗧𝗦 powder or the 𝗬𝗧𝗧𝗦, I'm gonna try this again because I remember loving this for months and months, and then it just kind of slowly migrated to the back of my drawer. This is from NYX. It's the HD finishing powder in the shade Banana. So I am actually, I don't think I brought my favorite brush that I like for my under eyes. So I'm just gonna go in with my beauty blender, kind of like the front end of it, and just swipe some of this powder and pat in the opposite direction. So kind of going against the grain of my wrinkles that hate me, just to make sure that it really sets in those little creases. Now to add some warmth back into my face, I'm going to go in with the Balm's Bahama Mama. This is a brush that I love to use with this powder. Like these two together, I'm telling you, if you ever end up with like a really like stark, like undiffused line and you're just like, why isn't this buffing out? This brush is amazing. It's from e.l.f. I want to say it was like either $3 or $6. I haven't purchased from e.l.f. in a while, so I always forget the prices. I want to say maybe $5 or $6. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush. It kind of has more of like an oval shape, but it's just really nice and loose and fluffy. So I'll just go in with some of this, tap, and then just lightly. This is a powder that I like to build up. I never want to go in super heavy right away. Otherwise it ends up looking like you have like a 5 o'clock shadow or something. I don't really know anybody who likes that look. So I'm going to go ahead and buff some of this right onto my cheeks, the outer perimeter of my forehead, and maybe kind of like try to blend away my double chin a little. We'll see if it works. All right, I'm not too into nose contouring, but just with how pale my face is looking, I'm going to grab the Morphe M504. Clearly, I've been loving this brush. And just do a really, really light little swipe down the sides of my nose. I'm not by any means trying to sit here and like snatch my nose or anything like that. Just to make it look like my nose isn't disappearing into my face. Okay, now moving on to a product that I'm super excited to use. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw this on my stories yesterday. I did an unboxing and kind of swatched everything that I received from NARS. This is from their Spring 2018 collection that will be launching on January 18th. They released a new liquid blush color. If you have never tried these, they are like the most intensely pigmented liquid blushes ever. Like, one bottle will last you 3 lifetimes. You only need the tiniest bit. This is in the shade Hot Tin Roof, and it just looks like a really pretty kind of like burnt orange shade. So I'm going to take like not even a full pump, like a half of pump. In fact, that might be a little bit more than what I need. So the brush that I'm going to be using, this is the Sigma, oh no, F50 maybe? I don't know, it's one of their duo fiber brushes. So with this blush, I'm just going to dip my brush in it and kind of swipe it around my hand and then smile and just buff it in. Now, obviously, if you want more pigmentation, you could go in with more, but I'm telling you, less is more with this blush. Like, you really only need a little bit of it. And then same thing, I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender and just lightly kind of pat. I'm sorry, I cannot stop using this highlighter. I just love it. This is one of the Physicians Formula butter bronzers, or butter highlighter, sorry. This one is in the shade Champagne, so back with the beauty blender. I use it for everything. I just bop, 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 let it like twerk on in there in the pan, and then I will just lightly press some of this right onto my cheeks. Do you see that? It's a drugstore product, and this is hands down my most used highlighter. I have a drawer full of highlighters, and these butter highlighters are the ones that I go back to over and over again. I think I want to go ahead and go smoky on the lower lash line too, but while using those same shades. So we're gonna go in with Cocoa Bear and just kind of smoke out the lower lash line. For that, instead of a pencil brush, I think I'm gonna go in with this guy here. This is the Sigma E20 short shader. It's just kind of like a dense short shader. And first I'm just going to press it onto my lower lash line, just like that. And then we're gonna go in and really kind of buff it back and forth. I feel like this shade is kind of bringing out the little tints of green in my eyes. Okay, so now getting that same brush, I'm just going to swipe this back and forth. And then just taking the e.l.f. crease brush, I'm going to go in with a little bit of Makeup Geek's Americano and just apply some of that right into my outer corner. This is from the brand 𝗬𝗠𝐿. You can get this at Ulta. It's the Arch Rival Brow Artist Retractable Eyebrow. I have like 5 hairs in my mouth. I can't find a single one of them. The Arch Rival Brow Artist Pencil. I have mine in the shade medium. So much like the Brow Wiz, you have a spoolie on one end and then a retractable pencil on the other. I go in and lightly fill in my brows. The main thing that I really like to do is extend the tail of my brow, just because I feel like it ends way too early. It's like, just give me like an additional centimeter or 2. Nothing crazy, just a little bit more of a tail. Like that much. See? I feel like that makes a difference. Okay, so just filling this guy in. I feel like I got a little bit overexcited on here on the top. I'm gonna end up with like crazy, angry looking brows. All right, I can't decide if I want to go in with like a really pale nude lip or kind of keep it monochromatic and go in with something kind of warm. I do want to see what this combo looks like. This was another product that I showed on Instagram stories. It's one of NARS new lip covers. This is one of the lip colors in the shade 𝗿𝐵𝐾𝐻. I loved the swatch of it. It was just such a super rich red. So instead of doing lip liner first, because I thought Chicory lip liner from MAC might be a good color to go with it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and line and fill my lips with Chicory anyways, because if 𝗿𝐵𝐾𝐻 doesn't work, this is still, I think, the color vibe that I want to go with, kind of keep the look more monochromatic. So there's Chicory. Now I'm going to go in with the NARS shade in 𝗿𝐵𝐾𝐻, just right over the lip liner. Right, I went ahead and applied my ultimate favorite lashes. These are from the brand ardell. They are the Studio Effects in the style Demi Wispies. I love them just because they get like really kind of like fluttered and concentrated on the outer corners. That way I don't really feel the need to apply any liner onto my upper lash line. Really like the way that this lip color looks with this eye look and this shirt. Definitely kind of like a monochromatic vibe going on, but I really feel like I need some self-tanner. I don't know if it's just like with my darker hair, I feel extra pale today. One thing I did want to do though is give y'all a swatch of the, where did I put it? Oh, here's NARS 𝗿𝐵𝐾𝐻, just because I do feel like the lip liner definitely altered the shade some. It did add a little bit more kind of that warm burnt orange to it, which was exactly what I was going for. But even on its own, and this is a very pigmented lip product, but without the lip liner, it's definitely more on like the burnt, still slightly orange, but definitely some red too. This does still look red on my lips, but Chicory did just give it a little bit more of that like oomph that I was looking for. But yeah, that is it for this look. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. Let me know if you would like to see those kind of lifestyle decor cooking videos that I mentioned earlier on. And yeah, that is it for this one. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.